Hi, I'm Irving, and I'm an Adamaniac.
A quiet, balmy midnight in Gotham City. Not a creature is stirring, except these creatures, though they're barely stirring. And this creature, an Egyptian king.
Wait a sec. At the end of the last story, he got another bonk on the head and was back to being a university professor. What happened? Why is he back? And if he reverted, why didn't somebody call the men in white coats? While he's feeding his pets, some of his henchmen are busy at a different task.
Dig this perfect blue white diamond. 68 carats if she's an ounce. Or my name ain't Aminophistofic.
If that is your name, you had the cruelest parents in all of human history. While he's admiring the diamond, they get interrupted.
What's going on? How did you get in here? Can't have this sort of thing, you know. I advise you both to remain quite motionless while I summon the authorities.
But only briefly. I like how calm that guy is. An explosion in his living room at midnight wakes him. He finds two guys robbing his safe and he just says, "Can't have that sort of thing, you know." When he woke up, he said, "All right, apparently we can."
This should be more to his kingship's taste.
What is it?
A string of amber beads.
Amber beads?
Exactly, Tutling. With beauty such as these, his royal kingship shall hatch an infernal scheme that within a fortnight should have all of Gotham City in his royal clutches.
I know Tut is a little... but this is weird even for him. At Police HQ, Gordon and O'Hara are as efficient as ever.
I still don't quite understand how you could be rendered unconscious by a lead pencil.
Pestle, Commissioner. A lead pestle, which my assailants dropped in their escape.
Somebody was writing a ransom note with this thing?
No, Miss Patrick, I don't need a pill. It's for Mr.
Oh, it's time for your mid-morning vitamin, Commissioner.
Oh, really? Oh, well, what do you know? All right, thank you.
Bonnie is on vacation, so Commissioner Gordon has a replacement secretary. At least that's what she's supposed to be. Most of the time, she seems more interested in pushing that candy tray full of pills. I wonder what that's about. When the man in the eye patch explains that the bad guys were dressed as ancient Egyptians, they put it together and call Batman.
A strange and terrible threat to Gotham City, an ultimatum from the remote past. I think it's King Tut.
Run away.
He stole a string of amber beads and left a 68-carat diamond. What kind of ultimatum is that? I'm not sure why Gordon said that, because Tut hasn't said a word to anybody yet.
Holy hieroglyphics. This might mean a battle royal.
Not the first tick, nor the last.
They don't even know what he did yet. All Gordon said was, "We think he's back." And suddenly they're all preparing for Armageddon. I guess it's a good thing Bruce has his zombie apocalypse shelter. Batcave.
Egyptian garb, amber beads, lead pestles. Can there be any doubt about it, I wonder?
Only the shadow of a doubt, perhaps, but certainly worth a telephone call to Yale University.
That's a sharp idea. Positively trenchant, Batman.
Which is why the trained, experienced police force didn't think of it.
Hello, Dean Gerber. This is Batman. Batman. B-A-T-M-A-N.
Again, with one T, it's his legal name with two... Never mind.
That's right, Dean Gerber, in Gotham City. I'm calling in reference to your professor of Egyptology. Oh? When did he take over the chair? And his predecessor? Oh. Yes, that's what I was afraid of. Thank you. Goodbye.
The professor fell off a podium and hit his head again and hasn't been seen since. This guy needs to wear a helmet.
Holy sarcophagus. That means he's a super crook again.
But what kind of a super crook would scoff at genuine diamonds and rubies and then have his stooges make off with a string of amber beads, some of them even with beetles in them?
Beetles, Chief O'Hara? You mean scarabs imprisoned in amber?
Yeah, dead bugs. What's he think he's gonna do with them? Batman muses a little bit and comes up with the idea that an old-fashioned apothecary is the kind of place that Tut might be hiding out. Time to get the city classified directory, because Yellow Pages was copyrighted, and see what's out there.
Patrick. Oh, no pills, please. Just bring Batman a classified directory, please.
It will be a pleasure.
Oh. I'm afraid the summer relief girl for my regular secretary, Bonnie, isn't much of a relief.
She seems eager to please, a virtue in anyone.
Eager to please and eager to pill are two very different things, Batman. You might want to pay attention just for once.
Aha! Just as I surmised. With the dozens of pharmacies, the scores of drugstores in Gotham City, there's only one apothecary. The Apex Apothecary Shop in the Pyramid Building. Doubtless to be found on the top floor.
There's a clue in there somewhere. Apex, apothecary, pyramid, top floor. Oh, it'll come to me eventually. Meanwhile, in the back room of that very apothecary, Tut has extracted the dead bugs from their amber cocoons.
You ask me, Your Royalness. Giving them bugs the hot foot ain't gonna do nothing. Dead is dead, or my name ain't Amenophis Toothpick.
Which it isn't. That's the name Tut gave you, but I'll bet your ID says Percival Flurndeclern or something.
These are not bugs, Amenophis. They are scarabs of a species extinct for at least 4,000 years. Encased in amber, they have slumbered away the centuries in a state of suspended animation.
How does he know that? We found bugs in amber before and they were definitely dead, or my name ain't Amenophis.
And now, I shall begin their shock treatments to reactivate their little nervous systems. About 100,000 volts, wouldn't you say?
I concur, Doctor.
Breathe, my children. Free yourselves from the arms of Osiris. Shake off the shackles of the sepulchre. Live. 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 They ain't living.
He had to know it was a long shot, so Tut takes the news philosophically.
Failure! Abject failure!
His philosophy happens to be one involving great personal intensity.
All my plans, all my dreams of domination crumbled into dust. I shall end this miserable existence by throwing myself off the Aswan High Dam.
And possibly a blankie and a bottle to settle him down. Then suddenly...
How about that? That cockroach is really kicking.
Now he's starting to sing that to make me feel good.
They're all kicking. Look, Your Kingship, you've got yourself a batch of real live ones.
they multiplied too. These scarabs were crossbred with tribbles so they can multiply that quickly. It's complicated.
Gee whiz, Batman.
They wouldn't let them in the service entrance because they didn't have their name tags.
Dropping in on a drugstore might have been easier.
Exercise never hurt anyone, Robin. We must always keep the element of surprise on our side.
What are you doing here?
Speaking of surprises...
I might ask you the same question.
Pursuing the enemies of law and order wherever they happen to be.
Aren't you in the wrong city?
On special assignment for the Daily Sentinel. You know my aide, Cato?
Robin, the boy wonder.
Well, I don't want to hold you up from your crime fighting.
Thank you, and good luck to you, Mr. Hornet.
Nice to have met you.
If you don't know, the Green Hornet was another superhero show that was going on about this same time. Unlike Batman, it was very serious and had some pretty good stories. I'm a little surprised that Batman didn't ream him a little, because while the Hornet and Kato were good fighters, they also weren't afraid to use guns. Canonical Batman would have a problem with that. This Batman probably didn't notice.
Gosh, Batman, what are they dressed like that for?
Have I mentioned recently how much I love this show? Batman and Robin climb through the shop window, which sets off an alarm. Tut sends one of his men to check it out.
Gentlemen, you might have found the elevator a little more convenient.
But then they wouldn't have gotten to meet the Green Hornet.
But what form of curative do you require?
Nothing, thank you.
A nostrum called nothing? That I do not carry, sirrah.
He goes into his act, but Batman wants to know what's in the back room.
Trolls and ghouls and amulets. Evil spells that will turn your bones to celery stalks.
Okay, that's a new one.
Nevertheless, I think we should take a look for ourselves.
But no! Take another think, Batman.
This guy isn't too bright. He could save this whole mess by learning 3 little words. Got a warrant? Since Batman and Robin are fully deputized members of the police department, they have to follow the law. Without a search warrant, that guy doesn't have to show them anything but the way out. But it's a little late for that now. No, the other guy in the goofy outfit. Batman and Robin wrap up the bad guys. Or so they think. Look, Robin. One of them is still conscious and he's coming toward us with a handful of white powder. What do you suppose we should do about... Well, I certainly didn't see that coming.
We took care of them.
We powdered them, boss.
Good. Through the back door, down the fire escape, bolt the door behind us.
Time for the sneezing gags.
Too late, Robin. Thanks to a well-equipped apothecary. Foiled again by that Carol.
They find the incubator.
Holy Frankenstein. It's alive.
It's a good thing Tut missed one or they'd never know what was going on here.
Yes.
What is it?
Scarabaeus caesar, a species of ancient Egyptian beetle sacred to the sun god at Heliopolis, and from which the term scarab is derived. But you should know that, Robin, if you're up on your studies of Egyptology.
You're right.
Extinct bugs are the very essence of Egyptology. You know that. In the Batcave, they give themselves a crash course in hieroglyphics, and Batman discovers the answer in an ancient papyrus.
Inscribed upon this ancient papyrus scroll is the chemical formula for Abu Rabu Simbu 2.
Abu Rabu Simbu 2. I like Batman. How about you?
Abu what?
Abu Rabu Simbu 2. In more modern terms, CK to the second power plus OL to the ninth power equals KO to the third power plus 2CL to the fourth power.
Of course, anybody knows that. It's an ancient formula that nobody's used forever because the main ingredient wasn't available.
Distilled essence of scarab lymphs.
Holy corpuscles.
Yes. And this ingredient, combined with other elements in the chemical formula, produces a potion capable of paralyzing the human will.
Tut must have retained just enough of his sanity to realize that's the only way he could ever get Gotham City to accept him as its king.
But he only has a few resurrected scarabs.
Unfortunately, Robin, given the proper climatic conditions, scarabs are able to multiply 1,000-fold.
So that's what happened in the incubator. He forgot to mention that it's an instantaneous thing and they're born full size.
Yes, Alfred.
Just coming to report, sir. The talking sphinx will be on the lawn of Wayne Manor within hours.
Talking sphinx.
If you'll remember, Robin, last year Tut made his royal predictions through the Great Stone Sphinx, thus creating terror in this city.
Oh, of course. How could I have forgotten?
You didn't. You're a new viewer who didn't see season 1.
I recently heard that the Sphinx was being offered for sale.
Sold! Just when I was going to have need of her again. Who purchased my inscrutable lady? millionaire Bruce Wayne.
Tut says, I need that Sphinx, so tonight you two are going to go get it for me.
Quietly. There's only one light in the house. Upstairs. I don't think anyone's home.
Sure, this Sphinx bench is a cinch.
Give me that again.
Sure, this Sphinx bench is a cinch.
Did he say this Sphinx bitch is a cinch?
Sure, this Sphinx bench is a cinch.
Whether he meant to or not, I think he did. And nobody caught it. Awesome.
Well, Alfred, it looks like my young ward and I are going fishing again. For the big one.
How might this go wrong? Let me count the ways.
First, you must crystallize this lovely nectar into a powder, and then insert the powder into a capsule. Like so. And you, Cleo, my lovely queen of the Nile in exile, you know what to do then, don't you?
Yeah, Tut-Tut. I slip it to Commissioner Gordon instead of his mid-morning vitamin A.
The new flaky, pill-happy secretary is working with Tut. What a surprise.
Batman, you better...
1. He was trying to report on this.
It couldn't have made a noise. I haven't hooked up the loudspeaker system.
Well, I sure heard something, boss, or my name ain't Amina.
I think he keeps saying that to remind himself about the dopey name Tut gave him. He just happened to be leaning against that particular panel. What a stroke of bad luck.
We've lost him. He must have dropped the bat radio. It's a very sensitive instrument.
Whatever will you do now, sir?
There's always the bat Geiger counter.
Good. It's picking them up already.
How? I planted radioactive bat pellets in his belt.
We don't want him to reproduce anyway. And isn't it amazing how the Geiger counter only picks up that one source of radiation? Batman truly is a scientific genius. They drag him out and get ready to give him a shot of Ramalama Ding Dong 2 when he breaks free and runs for the nearest door he can find.
No!
Holy jawbreaker.
I think I'd prefer door number 2. Tut sees where Robin went and sets up the cliffhanger.
Is Robin doomed? Those crocodiles look mighty hungry. Was Tut right? They'd soon be having a tasty dinner. Or was he merely shedding crocodile tears?
Was that really necessary?
Above all, will Batman arrive before the boy wonder's perch slides away?
It's nice that it's got those red and white stripes so we can see how quickly it's sliding away. That was very thoughtful of King Tut.
Tune in your Bat Sets tomorrow. Same time, same channel.
All of my questions about King Tut from last season still stand. Where did he get his money? How much is he paying these people to act like idiots and call themselves by unpronounceable names? That's the only reason I can think of why they would take him seriously. Although the chemistry dude seems to be a little off himself, so maybe he's a true believer, who knows. I still have trouble suspending disbelief with this character. It seems to me that long before he could assemble the funds to do all this stuff, he would have been rounded up and committed. Really, when you get right down to it, he's not that clever, so it wouldn't have been hard to see what he was doing and take action. Having said that, the story is giving me trouble too, mainly the resurrected Beatles. For one thing, he put them in that chamber, ran 200,000 volts through them, and filled the chamber with pure oxygen. That's not a recipe for revival, that's a recipe for roasting, or a nice explosion. All this so he can make Abu Rabu Prince Abubu 2 and enslave Gotham City. I am having trouble buying it. Still, this is where we are, so let's see where part 2 takes us. I'm Irving, and I'm an Adamaniac.
Sure, this Sphinx bench is a cinch.